Okay, so this is the last lesson in the series of 5 lessons about writing a newspaper story, and in this lesson we're going to be talking about what people have said about stories. So what did people say? Okay, and obviously has a question mark. So for my story, I'm going to remember these are imaginary conversations, so I'm going to speak to 2 people about the fact that children, the schools are very, very quiet because children are at home doing their home learning, and I'm going to speak to a parent, and I'm also going to speak to a teacher, and I don't know who the teacher is, but his name, I don't know whether you've heard of him or not, is Mr. Grumpy. Okay, so we'll talk to the parent first and then Mr. Grumpy second. Now, if you were wondering why, a couple of days ago you did a SPAG lesson about using speech marks, then this hopefully will answer your question. So let's get some space and we can start to record what different people have said. So spoke to a parent. So what would a parent say? The parent would say it's nice. Maybe the parent would say it's nice that the children are home a lot. So nice that children are at home. Okay, so in newspapers what you have to do is, first of all, you have to say who you're speaking to. So let's just so in the newspaper story we would say we spoke to one of the parents. Let's go for this. And usually with these sorts of things they don't put their names because they're not allowed to. So we spoke to one of the parents. Full stop. And then you can actually start to write down what the parent said. So let's say that the parent, first of all, is quite happy that they're seeing their children a lot. Now, when we start speaking, we use the 66, the open speech marks. And also remember that this sentence always starts with a capital letter, just like anything else. So the parent says, it's nice to spend more time with with the person's name. And then at the end, well, there are 2 things that we have to do. First of all, we have to do the closed speech mark, but before that, don't forget you have to have a comma. It's nice to spend time with so-and-so, comma, closed speech marks, and then said Mrs. somebody, full stop. Okay? That's the complete sentence. Now, if you want the person to say more than that, then that's absolutely fine. So let's slightly change this example. So it's nice to spend time with so-and-so. So let's get rid of that. And then full stop. Okay, so that's the end of the sentence, but it's not the end of their speech. So therefore, we don't have to put closing speech marks. Maybe they might want to say something else, and if they do, they might want to use an addition connective as well as this. It's lovely not to have to rush in the mornings. I bet lots and lots of parents are saying that. Right, okay, now I need to just make a slight change here because that's not very good handwriting. So rush, R-U-S-H. Right, as well as this, it's lovely not to have to rush in the mornings. Now, if this is all that the person's saying, then you do need a comma and you do need a close speech marks, just like that. Okay? So, and then you need the reporting clause said, and then whoever it is who's saying that. Okay, it's nice to spend more time with so-and-so. As well as this, it's lovely not to have to rush in the mornings. Right. Now, when you're writing a newspaper article, what you do is you usually get a balanced viewpoint. And this means getting somebody who agrees with what's going on and then somebody who disagrees. So, in a new paragraph, you put, we also spoke to Mr. Grumpy. We also spoke to, pardon me, Mr. Grumpy, comma, a teacher. Stop. Right, what would Mr. Grumpy say? It's lovely. Oh, this is interesting. Full stop. It's lovely. Right, but don't forget that this is Mr. Grumpy. I don't have to teach the children any more exclamation mark, close speech marks, he said. So, this is obviously not a very nice teacher. This is a teacher who doesn't seem to like children, and I'm sure this teacher doesn't exist except maybe on the shelves of bookshelves and things like this. So, just in case, I'm going to rub this up because I don't want anybody thinking that such a terrible, terrible person would ever say such a thing. So, there we go. Get rid of that. Go back up here. Right, let's stick with this one. It's nice to spend more time with so-and-so. As well as this, it's lovely not to have to rush in the mornings. Okay. Now, remember, boys and girls, please remember, when you are doing your asking your questions, you must remember the speech punctuation. You must remember open speech marks, which looks like a 66. You must have a capital letter, okay? Whatever the word is, must begin with a capital letter. If you want to, you can put a full stop and then a new capital letter for a new sentence. If they're still carrying on, then that's absolutely fine, okay? And then, if that's the end of what they're saying, then you put a comma, and then close speech marks, and then said Mr. whoever it is who's talking. Or of course it could be Mrs. or Miss or Ms, whatever. Okay? Said that person. Right. So, I hope that's nice and clear for you. So the third part of the, well, the third part of the newspaper story is I'd like you to write about what people said. Okay, what did people say? Okay, try to do either 2 or 3 examples, so try to speak to 3 people. Remember, this is imaginary, so you can make these people up. Remember, I'm trying to get you to write about what the situation is like from your point of view. Okay, so you don't have to write about what's at school, you don't have to copy what I've been writing, just write down what you think is going on and write down what you think people would say about the situation, about children being off school for weeks and weeks and weeks. Right. I hope that's clear. Once again, if you're not sure, then email me, get your parents to put a message onto Class Dojo for me, or go onto the website and go to the Ask Mr. Smales page and ask me, tell me what's troubling you, and I'll try and answer your question. In the meantime, do some good writing, take care and stay safe. Bye-bye.